Let's go through the starting order here. This is going to be the third race, the first GP race of our Blast from the Past tournament here. Who even are these people? Their armor's all cheesed. Oh, it has to be. Okay, it's Commando and Opix. I believe Sector and Elite. Everybody's armor's messed up. Shift and Hunter. Roman and Vulcan. And Detail and Real Deal. And Luke and Slaunch. Literally, Real Deal and Luke are the only people with their correct armor. What the hell? Why is it so messed up? That's actually going to piss me off this entire race. Alright, so waiting on the lights here, and there we go, green flag. Remember, this is going to be just like the other races, 12 minutes plus a lap. A lot of these drivers in the back not going to want to waste a lot of time. Detail and Luke with a really good run on the inside there, trying to make moves early. We even see a driver there. It's going to be hard with this messed up armor, but a driver there on the outside trying to make a move. He's almost going to fall off the track. I think that was Vulcan there in the tree. Things always getting divey in that corner in the first lap. That's what's expected. A driver, I think that's Shift already, going down in the chicane. And we have a crazy four-way battle here between Detail, Real Deal, Luke, and Slaunch. A huge heavyweight battle there going on in the middle of the track. And then we have this top three, Opix, Elite, and Hunter, which are not bad GP racers, and they can really hold off. So, like, this might get interesting. Hunter going down in that pole right there, and Real Deal super gets caught up in it, and that's going to lose him a ton of time. That is going to be unfortunate, and I actually don't think it was Slaunch up there in that battle I mentioned. I think it was Roman. Their armor's not as easy to tell when it's messed up, but I think it was actually Roman, and Roman's working his way up pretty quickly this race. Now as you look at the battle for the lead is going to be Opix and Elite. Opix trying to hold on to that. He really wants to make a comeback happen here. So he had the unfortunate lag out at St. Louis, which is going to put him behind for the rest of this tournament. Elite contesting for that position. That's Detail already into third, which is a huge threat. Detail not able to get on the top step of the race yet this tournament, but Guerco's historically been a pretty good track for him. He's usually pretty good at GPs, and he's already in third. This is not looking good for the rest of the field. These guys are going to have to try to catch up there very quickly before he gets into those battles with those top drivers. That being said, there's a lot of time left in this race. There's a lot of drivers scattered throughout, and Slaunch with a big mistake there into the pole, and that's gonna hold up a ton of people. And now he's just gonna be in this big congested battle here in the back with tons of positions he could still regain, but that's gonna be tough. It's gonna be really hard for him to catch up to the rest of the pack now. Looking like a classic Slaunch Guerco race here, not going very well at the start. And here it is, Detail already competing for second place here with Elite. And if Detail can get by Elite, if he can make short work of him, that's not looking good. That is not looking good for the rest of the field. And there he goes. He's going to have that position. Now he's going to set his sights on Opix, and Opix is probably like, ah, shit, here we go again. This is not looking good. But like I said, still plenty of time left. We have Roman even catching up to Elite there, getting pretty close to them. And what is this Hunter? Hunter somehow has just worked his way into the top spots here, or is holding his way onto it, because I remember there's that big incident earlier, but he's holding onto it. But now it's Luke there with them, tying up with them here. They're going to get pretty competitive, going down to this corner, into the pole. They keep it clean, and it's still side by side, going into this downhill between the two. Luke slides out a little bit, Hunter holding onto it, but then Luke slides back into it, and they're still just barely side by side into the final corner. Hunter goes two wheels a little bit, and that may finally be the pass there. You fucking bitch. Pretty good battle there between the two for the last half of that lap. But in the end, it's gonna be Luke taking that spot. And here we go, battle for the lead. It is now going down. Detail has caught Opix. He's got a wheel on him. Gonna make it side by side in the chicane. A weird little stoppage there, though. That just, I don't know, just looked odd. But this battle will continue. And even though Detail's got a big advantage right now, he's gonna want to try to get by Opix as quickly as he possibly can. Does not want to waste any time here, because if he does waste too much time, that's gonna mean that the rest of the pack is just gonna get there right on their bumper and just wait for something to happen, wait for an opportunity to open, and that could be dangerous for him. So he's gonna want to try to make this pass happen as quickly as possible. Then if you're from Opix's perspective, you want to try to hold on to this position as long as you can, because having those other drivers come into it may help you out a little bit for holding that lead and holding the lead here could be huge to try to make a little comeback from the St. Louis lag out. Try to get some points here, get back on track. But we're going to go into this corner here. This one's pretty popular for passes, and unfortunately Opix goes pretty wide there, and that is probably going to be it for that lead. Detail is now going to move into the lead. God dang it. And that, wow. Elite is still holding on to third, too. I thought that Elite would have gotten past for third by now as well, but he's still holding on to it. So this is actually looking really good for Detail. He gets by Opix right there and still has Elite and Opix between him and Luke and Roman. So that's actually huge. This is looking to be a potential first win of the night here for Detail. Coming off hot from the Elim tourney. A little slow start today. Well, slow start, like second and third, you know. But, you know, in perspective of winning the previous tournament, a slow start. Potentially going to hold the top spot at the end of this race here. At least looking good for it right now, unless any mistakes happen. We see Luke and Elite getting into it. A nice little crossover there. And that may set up Luke for the third place spot here on Elite. And, again, looking pretty good for Detail, but that's a huge move for Luke, and Roman's going to take advantage of it, and Real Deal also is going to take advantage of it. That's a triple pass in one corner there. That is tough. Everything just fell apart right there for Elite. Now Hunter's here too. Oh my god. I have never seen a race fall apart so quickly. Yeah, he's going to... Oh, he fights back. Does not want to lose that spot from Hunter quite yet. Oh my god. That was tough. I did not expect... I wasn't really watching the back, so I couldn't tell how close Real Deal and Roman were. I didn't even think they were that close. But apparently they were, and they just come hot into that battle. And here's Vulcan. The battle of the Britlanders here, all getting close to each other. Elite, Hunter, and Vulcan all lining up with each other. So that battle is always going to be heated, especially that Vulcan-Elite rivalry. I'm sure that'll continue throughout the rest of this race. Yeah, this is settling out pretty good. I mean, if you look at this, Opix still has a big gap there in second, so he actually may still be able to hold on for a good finish here. I mean, there is a lot of time left. What is there? Yeah, there's still, like, I think we just hit the halfway point, so there's still a lot of time left, which is not what Opix would want to see. He'd want to see, like, 2 minutes to go, let's go. But there's still, like, half of this race left. But at the same time, I think still being in second at this point, it's looking pretty poised for a good finish here. But you've got Luke, Real Deal, Roman here behind him, all looking to get into this action, especially I think Real Deal, he fell out of, you know, oh my god, what the hell was that? That was weird. Real Deal fell out of the podium spot. He was looking really strong at Barvo, ends up leaving it with a top 5. He was looking very strong for a podium at St. Louis, ends up leaving it with a top 5. I think he's done with these top 5s, and he wants to try to get himself into podium position to finally get his night going. Because it's definitely been a slow start. It could have been a really good start for Real Deal. I mean, if he would have had the double podium, that would have been solid. But it ends up being just not so good of a start to his night. I think he was hoping for more at this point, and I think Guerco here at GP is a good opportunity for him to start to rally this night back together. Oh, that pack is brewing up too. We got Elite, Hunter, Vulcan, Slaunch still going at it. Oh, Hunter, oh my god, going hard, goes down hard. That might be it for his race right there. Kind of just risked it all on that move, and I mean, he's probably screwed now. And this is crazy because we're getting two pretty big packs heating up, and this is it. Luke trying to get by Opix here. Are Roman and Real Deal going to try to take advantage like they did last time? Are they going to be able to? This is just how we saw Luke and Hunter's battle go, which is going to set this up kind of interestingly for the later half of the track. And look at Real Deal with the perfectly timed move right there, and is almost able to pull off a triple pass. Gets side by side with Luke, and the way that works out, he's probably not going to be able to make that move, but that just worked out so well for Real Deal there. Timed that move perfectly, hit it at the exact right time, makes a double pass, and puts himself into podium position. So that was huge. That was, I would say that was probably move of the race right there. Because this could have been a really tough fight for Real Deal, and now it ends up being he's solidly in a podium position and potentially looking to try to take second here. So that really just changed very quickly there for Real Deal, and this could be that move that gives him some momentum to really get back into this night. So hopefully he can keep that up, keep that momentum going. He's keeping it up. He's battling with Luke here side by side. They're really getting into it. Crossovers left and right on each corner. Real Deal looking very aggressive here. I think he's feeling the confidence after having two really solid moves, but eventually he's going to lose out some time there. But I'm liking the aggression that we're seeing. I don't think he's done quite yet, and I think that we're seeing a different side of him here on Guerco, so hopefully he can keep that momentum going into the next race, because if we see a Real Deal run here as well, it could make this night really interesting. Because we're actually going to go into a rallycross next. I don't want to spoil it yet. I don't want to spoil it, but it's gonna be a good one. Roman's able to get by Opix there, and that's unfortunate. That's going to throw Opix now from 2nd to 5th, but at the same time, he's still in 5th. He's still in top 5 position, and what the hell was that, Elite? I'm not even going to show that. So Opix still in the top 5 position, and as you can see where the rest of the drivers were, Opix is looking solid in this top 5 position. There's pretty much no way, unless he just makes an absolutely enormous mistake or literally lags out again. I don't see any other way he could lose this top 5 at this point. So not going to be quite what he was hoping for, but is going to be, top 5. You can't really scoff at that. That is going to get him a lot of those points back that he lost from St. Louis. So hopefully back into the night here, and look at the time. There's actually a lot of time left. Holy crap! There's still like 3 minutes left. I was like, oh yeah, we're getting close to like 1 lap to go here. No, there's still 3 minutes left of this race. So this race still has a lot to play out. Man, this Guerco race feels super long. It's crazy. We've had like so much action. It feels like the race should be over, but it's just we've got plenty of time left. Oh, Real Deal kind of hooking up there. That looked really weird. How it almost looked like he was side by side with Luke, but he was like 3 goose lengths back. That was weird. How his goose interacted with the inside there. But you can see Real Deal not giving up quite yet on this 2nd place position, trying to get as close as he can and try to stay as close as he can, so that if anything happens with Luke, he can be there to take advantage of the opportunity, make a move. Real Deal would love to get a 2nd place here at Guerco. But he loses a bit of time there on the 2nd half, and that's what it's been looking like. Real Deal looks really, really strong on the 1st half of the track, but the 2nd half of the track so far, aside from that power move he had, it seems like he's been losing a little bit of time here, the recent laps on the 2nd half of the track, and that's definitely costing him big here. If he could just get it all together, he could potentially compete for this 2nd place spot. Man, I love how bad those pits are. He's also got to think about Roman behind him. I mean, he's got a pretty good gap on Roman, but one little mistake and Roman could be right there. So Real Deal's got to keep the aggression up here to try to take that 2nd place, but he's also got to keep the aggression up so that he doesn't allow the driver behind him to gain too much time and work his way back into this race. And speaking of Roman, he's starting to get his night together. He had that 6th place finish, I believe. Was it a 6th place? It might have been a 7th place finish at Barvo. Comes into St. Louis, gets a 5th place, and now looking to get a 4th place here at Guerco. So slowly but surely, Roman is improving throughout the night here, and gaining more and more points as we go, and trying to be a contender. Roman trying to throw his name into the mix for the competition in the next season, which I think we may see just an absolutely crazy season, like potentially most competitive season yet. And I think Roman's just trying to get his name into that mix. Doesn't want people to forget, like, hey, I'm here, I'm by. God damn it, I wish you could hear that. Alright, time in the race. Okay, so we're probably going to hit 2 to go this time by, I would say. And look at the lead there that Detail has. He is just looking strong in that lead. And same situation that we were talking about with some of the other drivers before. Like, it's going to take either a massive mistake or a lag out or something. I mean, at this point in the race, he's pretty much got it locked up unless something crazy goes down. You can tell he wasn't even really trying to hit the apex of that last corner. I think he knows at this point that he just like has such a gap. Like, he's got this locked up. He's just got a couple laps to go, and all he really needs to do is just ride the rest of this race out, and he's good to go. Which is a nice, smart thing to do. I know some drivers really like to run it hard, even when they have a big lead, run it hard until the end. But it really is the smart thing to do. I mean, when you have that much of a lead, you can play with it a little bit. I mean, you can take some corners safely. You're not going to lose that much time. You got to know, like, knowing how to manage a lead is always a really important skill for some of the better drivers. But, also a difference in philosophy there. We see some drivers just go super hard try to get fast lap times until the very end of the race. In the last lap, even if they have a huge lead, they just don't want to give it up. But that could also potentially put them in some situations where, you know, they open themselves to mess up and make a race way too close when it shouldn't have been. Whereas if they just sort of like managed it, they would have just had an easy win. And I think that's what Detail's going for here. He doesn't want to take any risks. He's like, I got this race. I don't really need to go too hard at this point. And I think we are at the white flag there. Yep, white flag out for Detail here at Guerco. Many solid finishes for him in the past at Guerco, and he's potentially looking to wrap up another one here with a W. Another W. Yeah, a lot of history at this track in general, though. A lot of different winners at this track, a lot of history at this track, and really cool to see it raced again here in the Blast from the Past tourney, because this is one of the most fabled GPs at this point in all of Halo 5. Ended up culminating in one of the craziest Grand Finals battles we've ever seen. That Season 4 clutch up from Fireball and the unfortunate fall from Slaunch. That was crazy, and always one of the, you know, probably one of the, we've had some pretty crazy Grand Finals finishes. Like the one with the formal race is the last one. That was probably crazier, but this one's up there too. And Detail is going to take the win here, his first win of the night at Guerco. Luke's going to fall in second. Real Deal in third. Roman in fourth. Oh, whoops. And who was it? Does Vulcan, there's no way Vulcan takes fifth here. He takes fifth. Does Slaunch take fifth? Or sorry, I forgot about Optics. My bad. Optics takes 5th. Slaunch takes 6th. Hunter takes 7th. Elite takes 8th. Vulcan takes 9th. Shift takes 10th. Commando 11th. And Justin in 12th. So that is your finishing order here for Mount Guerco. Until Real Deal shows up, then I'm turning him off. Alright, so here we are for the middle race here. 4th race of the Blast from the Past tournament. And interestingly enough, used to seeing this as the last race, but here we're going to have it in the very middle of the tournament. Mirabilis Rallycross lineup here. We're gonna have Sector, Commando, Shift, and Vulcan. Oh my god, we're gonna have Opix, Slaunch, Hunter, and Elite, Roman, Real Deal, Luke, and Detail lining up here in the gate. 3 full sets ready to go off here at Mirabilis. Don't even need to introduce this track because this is just the track with like the most HRL history on it, so you know. You already know. You already know. Green flag. It looks like Sector actually with a pretty strong start. And look at this. Detail going into the grandstands, having no regard for the life of the fans already at the start of the race here. Ooh, it could get conky here in this little downhill chicane. And this section, we always see plenty of drivers going down here. We're going to see that, and Detail actually goes down at the end there, so that's going to be a really rough start from him. He's been on fire recently at Mirabilis for the last few seasons, so he's going to have to work his way up from some adversity here in this one. And Luke also goes down there as well. Slaunch going down here too. And this is going to put Detail and Luke, the top 2 drivers for like the last 5 Mirabilis races, way in the back with a slooper slow start early on, which is definitely going to lead to, I think, an interesting close race here. That's exactly what you want to see from a spectating perspective. Remember, we are going to allow jokers. Shift is not going to go for a joker. What the hell was that? We are allowing jokers for this tournament, so we're going to see 2 joker usages for each driver out of this race. And that's actually Slaunch there in the lead. Look at how crazy. He definitely took his joker there. He was like in last. Takes his joker there in the first lap. Ends up in first. I actually think Hunter might be in first. He might have took his joker like way in front. But yeah, Hunter's in first. But like Slaunch ends up way ahead in second. So yeah, the joker's just crazy on this track and really mixes things up. Roman there in third. Justin's just going all over the place. Real Deal's like, all right, relax. Let me get by you here, bud. A really good battle here between Detail, Opix, and Luke, and we also have Elite fronting that. Real Deal and Justin still going ham back there. Oh, Opix potentially going to lose the position there. Oh, getting loose on the exit of the corner. Let's see if any of these drivers take their Joker here. There it is. There it is. 302. I think Opix wanted to take it, and then he was like, nah, and it was kind of too late. That is unfortunate. But two drivers, they're going to take their Jokers. Ends up way in front of Slaunch. That's Detail and Elite, actually. Way ahead of Roman as well. But has Roman used a Joker yet? It's in kind of a weird spot. I'm not sure. I don't think so. And a lot of classic stuff here at Mirabilis. A lot of old pieces. You saw that sign. That sign is super retro. Mirabilis about as classic of a track that you can get at this point in Halo 5, and still race on it every season because it just ends up being cheesy every time. There's no shortage of cheese here ever. There's always some fat cheese bonds, and somehow always ends up being like a close race at the end. I love the gaps in the track too to make the piece count work. That cave opening. Oh, Elite gonna go for a Joker usage there. Looks like Real Dill coming out with a Joker as well. Vulcan 2, Justin as well, and Opix. So a lot of Joker usages right there. They come out in front of Roman. Look at that. I think Opix just came out right in front of Roman there. And Roman's just got to be pissed at this point. He's like, you got to be kidding me. So I think Roman guaranteed is using a Joker this time by. He does not want to deal with this pack. And this is actually putting Roman in a tough spot. This is where Roman's strategy may not play out properly for him. He's looking pretty strong, but with all this time he's going to lose this lap with that pack coming out in front of him. That is not going to help him at all. And here we have Detail and Real Dill going to duke it out. Oh, Real Dill with the mistake there in the pull. Opting to run the inside of the sand. Interesting call. Tries to cross back over. He's just cheesing himself. He ends up losing a lot of time off that. Whoa, Prin. That was a fat snore. Prin. And it looks like Detail going to take his last Joker, I believe, of the race here. Comes out well in front of Elite. But there's Hunter over there. And Hunter has already used both Jokers, I believe, so Hunter's got a fat lead, but there is still plenty of time remaining. And there it is. Roman did use his Joker, as you can see. Puts himself in 4th place, but I think he may have another one remaining, and still some Joker usages left here, and I think we're still going to see things get cheesy here at the end. And here's Luke all the way at the back, hasn't used a single Joker yet, so that's what I was saying. Like, there's still a lot of drivers, I think. Luke might be the only one with like 2 left at this point, but I think there's a lot of drivers with 1 left. So I don't think we're quite done here with the Joker usage. I think Roman may even have 1 left. I'm not sure. So get a good look here at the time. And there is still plenty of time left in this race. Elite makes a mistake right there. Roman is now caught up to him. What is Roman going to do in this situation? He's going to run behind him and try to work that pass legit. Remember, Hunter is your leader here. Got out into the lead early and used both his Jokers. He's like, I'm just trying to get away from everyone. But he's still got to hold on to it. And he's got a hungry Detail behind him. Going to try to hunt him down and take another win here at Mirabilis, which would be huge because that would... The night started off with Luke with 2 in a row. If Detail could retaliate back here with 2 in a row, that would put him right back in that championship fight, and I think would pretty much solidify halfway through this Blast from the Past tourney fight between those two for the front spot with the consistency that they've had so far. Roman just trying to get his way by Elite here, doing everything he can. Ooh, crap. But not quite able to pull it off yet. Gonna try to work him here in the sand section. Getting a little side by side. How do they go through the jump? Roman with a little case. Roman stronger on the exit of the sand. That's a lot of drivers in front of him too. If Roman has a Joker usage, I'd use it right now. Now is the time. And he does. So Roman did have a Joker left. Here he goes. Look at how much time Detail's made up on Hunter. And Roman gets into Hunter. On the exit of his Joker, Roman looking so strong on that Joker usage, and it ends up ending so poorly. So poorly for him there. And I honestly think that was a bit of a mistake. Like, if Roman took the Joker the lap before, if he took it the lap before, he probably would have ended up safely in second. I think he would have been behind Hunter still, but he would have been safely there. Of course, he didn't know that he was going to get cheesed that hard on the exit. But I was actually kind of surprised that he held on for a lap and tried to get by Elite legit. I think knowing that all those drivers in front of him already used both Jokers, I thought Roman would just be like, oh, they all used both Jokers? Like, I'm just going to go right by. But no, he actually just held on to it. An interesting call, but did not end up working out. And right there, the classic sand move there out of detail. Put it on Opix earlier. Going to put it on Hunter there as he takes the lead, which we saw this gap. This gap looked insurmountable just a couple laps before, and now here detail is in the lead. But this race is not over yet. And remember, we've seen a lot of these drivers use their Jokers at this point, but I think Luke still has 2 Joker usages left, so we're kind of waiting on that as well. That could even spice up this top battle even harder, and we may see one get used right here. Yep, here it is. 1 Joker usage coming out, comes out in front of Real Deal, but behind Elite. And remember, when Roman came out in the middle of that top 3 battle, he was behind Elite, so he's going to need a little bit more time to make up, but this could get pretty interesting on another Joker exit. And here it is. Look at this. Hunter's still really close with detail. I don't think this race is over yet. Detail always strong at Mirabilis, but there's always cheese at this track. I would not believe that we were done yet. You can see detail really running that sand berm efficiently, getting as much speed as you need to get a clean clear off of it. And Hunter staying in this fight. Roman trying to stay as close as he can, knowing that he may see another opportunity later on if he's lucky. Because at this point, Roman had a really good chance and then just kind of got conked. And here it comes. Luke's second Joker usage. Going to come out right in third. Ahead of Roman, but still behind Hunter in detail. With still those spots to work down. So pretty much all the Jokers are out of the window at this point. It's going to be straight up battling here for these last few laps of Mirabilis to see how this plays out. And look at this. Plenty of time left in this race too. Plenty of time left for these drivers to duke it out and see a great battle take place. Oh, it's getting side by side with Hunter and Luke. Got really close right there. And Luke potentially trying to make that sand move work on Hunter. Not going to have the run to make it happen. And Hunter is aware of that now. Way detail took the lead. Hunter knows that that could potentially be coming. So he knows to look out for that here in the future. And Roman's still lurking in fourth. Any big mistakes here, and Roman could be right back into this and potential side-by-side here with Hunter and Luke. They're going to both go through the chicane. And they pull it off, but they're going to lose some time to detail. This battling is definitely costing them. And potentially allowing Roman to get back up into this fight. Make things even more interesting, and Hunter messes up that first rumble, which is a crucial area of the track. He's going to lose a ton of time there. Through this downhill chicane, and Luke hits it really clean and just barely gets to the inside of Hunter, side by side, into the sand section. And Detail makes a mistake right in front of them, but Luke and Hunter are still side by side. Great battle through the sand right there. And Luke's going to end up getting it at the very end. That was a really sick battle between Luke and Hunter there through the sand, and Detail makes another mistake. Now side by side for the lead. This lap, it's all falling apart for Detail, but it's not over yet. Still side by side into the top of the hill with Hunter right behind them. Still side by side. This is just ridiculous at this point. And now Detail potentially working back out to the lead. But it's not over yet. Hunter, this has allowed Roman to get back into it. Now we have a train of 4 drivers here. That just made the end of this race so interesting. Oh, Roman kind of conks it out there. Going to lose some time. but not, I would say, not over yet for him. Potentially, I don't know if I have my times correct, but I think this may even be the white flag here. I'm going to hold my breath and see how it plays out. I think it is. Oh, Luke and Detail actually make a little mistake in the first rumble that time by. It's going to allow Hunter to still kind of creep into it. He's not out yet. Did the downhill shacking. Roman getting involved side by side with Hunter. And this may ruin Hunter's chance at a spot. Roman just trying to secure a podium at this point. They're doing it side by side through the sand like we saw with Luke and Hunter earlier. But it looks like Hunter will win it out this time. And Roman not going to be able to steal that podium spot. So now it's potentially all down to the lead here. Detail and Luke, not quite close enough yet, but there's still more of the track left. There's Commando trying to get his goose out. I think we may have another lap or two. I might have mistimed it. I think we do. I think there's a few laps remaining here. Okay, so if the time is not what I thought it was originally, then I think we might be 2 to go right here. I think this might be 2 to go then. And Detail, Luke messing up the first rumble again. Detail again looking really strong there. Messed up a little bit at the end last time, but that time just hits it perfect. But Luke's been looking really strong in this downhill chicane. That's where he made the move on Hunter earlier. So different areas of the track, different speeds for these drivers. And Luke looking really strong in the sand section this time by. This is now getting really close. Potentially going to try to make this inside move work. Gets side by side, but not quite able to make it happen. I think he even backed off a little bit at the end there. Knew that that jump was coming up and knew that it just wasn't going to work out. So had to settle in. Knew that the time wasn't right quite yet. But still, time left in this race. I think this is actually the last lap. Luke going for the jump line. Side by side now with Detail again going into the final sections. But that is going to be it. Not able to make it happen. Got super close there at the end. But Detail will just hold on here for the win at Mirabilis. Luke in second. Hunter third. Roman fourth. Slaunch fifth. And that was probably craziest race of the night so far. Got super close. Super close there at the end. Rest of the finishing order is going to be Real Dull 6th, Opix 7th, Elite 8th, Vulcan 9th, Justin 10th, Shift 11th, and Commando 12th. Wow. Absolutely insane race there at Mirabilis.